How you doing, beautiful people? It's Alexander, and in this video I want to talk about fasting and how fasting can help you in transforming your anxiety, social anxiety, depression, and even helping you to find your life's purpose. Let's go right into it. So what is fasting? You probably heard of fasting already. It's been quite popularized. I remember back in the day when I started fasting, I would tell people, "Oh yeah, I'm doing a fast." A lot of people will think I'm crazy. Like, what? You're starving yourself, you're gonna die, you need food to survive. And yes, we need food to survive, but how much food do we really need? And how long can we actually go without it? So, longest I've done is 5 days water fast. I've done dry fasting as well. I think longest I've done was 36 hours. Wasn't even a big deal for me at that point. And I've done juice fasting for probably around 7 to 10 days, somewhere between that range. And juice fasting is quite easy, except it's making a lot of juice is actually taking a bit of time. So in some aspects, water fasting is easier because you just drink water. If you have a water filter at home, it's easy. Now, you might be wondering, well, yeah, what are the benefits of fasting? There's a lot of videos on YouTube, there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of research done into this. Fasting is mentioned in religious texts, in Christian text, in Muslim, in Islam, in Quran. They do Ramadan fasting where people fast for I don't know, about 14, 16, 18 hours every day for like 30 days. So fasting has been around for a while, and it's been used in spiritual traditions. It's used for spiritual attainment, so you kind of increase your consciousness, increase your awareness. And it does that, and it does a lot of other things like just simply helping your stomach to remove some of the food waste that maybe sometimes is impossible to remove because you keep stuffing food down. So there's a lot of health benefits to it. Now, why do I bring up fasting, and why do I think it's important? The main thing is this: we're very much conditioned and used to using food as a way to numb ourselves, as a way to cope. Okay, it's just another drug that we're used to. A lot of flavors, a lot of spices, carbs, meat, burgers, a lot of fat, a lot of sugar, whatever it is for you, whatever it is, it does something for you. It numbs you, it relaxes you. You don't feel as anxious, you don't feel as nervous, you don't feel angry anymore, you don't feel as frustrated with life. It does that soothing, numbing effect, which is good when you know how to use it, but I think majority of us are kind of slaves to it instead. So what fasting does is it helps you to create the distance and actually see, do you have compulsiveness for food or not? And if yes, how much power does it have over you? Can you go 24 hours without food? Which is perfectly, for most people, even with some diseases and health problems, it's perfectly acceptable and okay to do. If not, if you're not sure, check with your doctor. But for majority of people, it's an easy, it's very acceptable to do, and it's not going to damage your system in any way, especially if you do it with water. So we have enough reserves in the body to go for probably 3 to 5 days without any even weight loss, and then after 5 to 7 days we start losing weight quite significantly. I mean, the good weight, the muscle weight, the weight we need. If you have a lot of fat, if you're overweight in any way, fasting is only going to help you to lose the weight that you probably don't really want. Somewhere on your belly, somewhere, if you're a man, maybe on your chest. You want muscly chest. You know you don't want any extra fat anywhere there. Um, but the main reason I do it is not about weight loss. Yes, it helps to digest. It helps to remove the food, but what that is connected, your gut is quite connected to your emotions. So what it actually helps you to do is create that distance between that compulsion and feel the emotions you're usually not feeling, and also because the body stops using energy, its life's energy on digestion and focusing even the blood around its digestion. There is more energy in the body, there is more energy in the mind, and a new layer of clarity appears. Now, if you've never done fasting and you're always eating every day, and your first fast, it might be a little bit stressful, it might be a little bit difficult and challenging, but once you get into it, you will notice a new layer of clarity, a new level of clarity comes up. It's almost like you become wiser. your consciousness increases. You become a bit more aware, or maybe even a lot more aware. You see more things. You see things clearer in your life about you. And this might help you to process some things that you're worried about, that you're anxious about, that you're depressed about, that upset you in some way, that you're frustrated with. Okay? It might help you quite a lot with that. And if you're struggling to create your life's purpose, you kind of ended up in the place where you're like, whoa, I don't know what I've been doing with my life. I just kind of woke up and I want to find a new life's purpose. I want to create my life more exciting, with more passion, with more energy. Fasting can help you to get that clarity. And it might not be a solution, it might not be like, oh, I just fasted for 24 hours and now everything sorted out. But it might give you a bit more clarity, at least on the next couple steps. That distance from food it slows down this earthly momentum of the body, this worldly momentum. Like everything is always moving, everything is in pace. Trucks moving left and right, trains moving here and there, planes flying, people working, money is being transferred all the time, wars happening here and there, people keep buying, then there's new stock coming into the supermarket, everything is moving. And you're eating and you're working, you're eating and you're working, you're eating and you're working. You're always stuck in that cycle. And so fasting helps you to get a bit of distance, a little bit of distance. And sometimes that's just enough to see something you haven't seen before. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you want some extra clarity, this is an easy access to it. All you need to do is do less. Eat less, not eat. Try 24 hours, yeah? 24 hours. Try 36, try 3 days if you want to go longer. If it's too difficult, try less, do intermittent, do 18 hours. Okay? Do intermittent fasting, only eat in an 8-hour window in a day for a few days. Do it only for a few days. If that's difficult, do 5-6 hours fasting without snacks, with no food. If that's difficult, do less, do 1 hour. Okay? If that's difficult, if you're really struggling with food, next time you have a meal, before you eat, just sit down and just give yourself 2 minutes, or at least 1 minute. Time it. You're just present with the food, you're looking at it, and you're just present with it. So you don't jump into this unconscious stuff in your mouth. No. You're just present with it. You breathe for a minute, just look at that food. Yeah, it might get a little bit cold, but it's not gonna go completely cold in a minute. Smell it, feel the smell, feel the flavor, and your first bite, be very conscious of it, how it tastes like. Really savor it. Is it actually something you enjoy eating, or you're just conditioned to liking it somehow? But actually, just taste it. And if you do, start enjoying, get into it. But start creating those gaps, at least a minute, or an hour or two, ideally 18 to 24. And if you want to take it to a higher level, 36, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, or more. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I wish you a wonderful, beautiful fast. Drink lots of water. Get yourself filtered or bottled. And have a wonderful life. Thank you.